The love story that fans can't stop talking about. Kai and Songyun's unbreakable bond. The night was quiet, but their silence was louder than thunder. Kai stood at the edge of the rooftop, his tall frame outlined against the city lights, his breath uneven, his eyes burning with emotions he could no longer hide. Songyun was behind him, her voice trembling, her heart in her throat. She wanted to speak, but words felt too fragile for the storm between them. The tension in the air was unbearable. Every step she took toward him sounded like an echo of fate. He turned slowly, his eyes meeting hers, and in that instant, time stopped. Their love was no longer just whispers between fans or stolen glances in interviews. It was real, raw, undeniable. And yet, the world had built walls around them. Kai clenched his fists, struggling to find balance between duty and desire. His voice broke the silence, low and shaken. Why does it feel like every time I'm near you, the world wants to pull us apart? Her heart ached at his words. She had carried the same weight, the same fear, but her courage burned brighter than her doubts. Because the world is afraid of us, she whispered, tears threatening to fall. They see how powerful we are together, and it terrifies them. He stepped closer. The distance between them melted, but their hearts raced like they were standing on opposite sides of destiny. The city lights blurred around them, like a dream unraveling. Kai reached out, his hand trembling as it hovered inches from hers. Fans had seen their smiles, their stolen glances, their undeniable chemistry. But what no one knew was the fire beneath it all, the nights they spent torn between surrendering to their feelings and hiding them in the shadows. Every laugh they shared on set carried secrets. Every glance across a crowded room was a silent confession. And now, standing together, the truth was too powerful to ignore. Her voice cracked, soft but fierce. Then let them be afraid. Because I'm not letting go. Kai's chest rose sharply, his breath quick and heavy. The rooftop wind whipped around them, carrying her words like sparks through the night. He could feel the walls inside him collapsing, every boundary, every line he had drawn in the sand now swept away by the force of her conviction. Their faces were so close now that the world itself seemed to hold its breath. And then, he kissed her. Not a quiet kiss. Not a hesitant kiss. But one that felt like breaking free after years of being chained. A kiss that burned, a kiss that healed, a kiss that screamed everything they had been forced to silence. The city below became nothing but noise. For them, only the sound of their hearts existed. But love that burns too brightly is never without danger. As they pulled apart, their foreheads touching, Kai's eyes darkened with fear. They'll never forgive us. The industry, the fans who want us apart, the world that thrives on breaking what it can't control. Songyun, they'll come after you. Her tears finally fell, but her smile shone through them. Then let them come. I'd rather fight with you than live safely without you. The courage in her voice shattered him. He wanted to protect her, to shield her, to hide her away from the storm. But she had always been stronger than he was willing to admit. The rooftop scene faded into memory, but the fire between them only grew stronger. Every moment after was a secret war. Hidden meetings under dim lights. Phone calls that stretched into dawn. Silent touches in public that looked like accidents to everyone else, but meant the world to them. Fans speculated endlessly. Were they together? Were they just acting? Was their chemistry too perfect to be real? But only Kai and Songyun knew the truth. Every stolen moment was a rebellion. Every glance was a vow. And yet, destiny was not done testing them. One night, after a long shoot, Kai found her waiting for him at the back of the studio, her eyes tired but her smile soft. He knew the cameras were lurking. He knew rumors would spread if anyone saw them, but he couldn't resist. The world could collapse around him, but when she was near, nothing else mattered. She stepped closer, her voice just a breath. Tell me, if everything fell apart tomorrow, would you still choose me? He froze. Her words cut through him like lightning, because he had been asking himself the same question every night. And his answer was always the same. He cupped her face, his voice trembling with certainty. Even if the world burned down, even if it destroyed me, I would still choose you. Her tears fell against his hands, and in that fragile, stolen moment, they sealed a promise the world would never understand. But promises made in shadows have a way of being dragged into the light. Their love was about to face its greatest test. The whispers in the industry grew louder. Rumors twisted their truth. Fans divided between those who believed in them and those who wanted to tear them apart. Every headline, every speculation, became a blade at their backs. And still, they held on. Because love like theirs wasn't built to be ordinary. It was fire. It was danger. It was destiny. The whispers were no longer whispers. They became screams. Headlines began to swirl like a storm out of control. Soo Kai seen leaving the set late at night. Tan Songyun caught smiling at her phone, her cheeks flushed with warmth. Paparazzi lenses magnified their every movement, twisting their laughter into scandal, their closeness into betrayal of the image the world wanted them to maintain. They had never been caught together, not fully, but the pieces were starting to connect. One night, after an exhausting day of shooting, Soo Kai entered his apartment and found her waiting there, curled on the couch, her hair falling over her face, her small frame wrapped in silence. The moment his eyes met hers, his chest tightened. She looked broken. Not because of him, but because of the weight of a world that demanded she choose between her heart and her career. He sat beside her, close enough to feel her trembling. Songyun, talk to me. Her eyes lifted, shimmering with pain. Do you ever regret it? The question stabbed through him like a blade. Regret? He regretted nothing. Not the risk. Not the fear. Not the danger. Only the thought of losing her. I regret every second we wasted pretending we didn't feel this, he whispered, his voice sharp with emotion. But you? Never. Her tears fell freely now, her body shaking as he pulled her into his arms. In his embrace, she felt safe, but the world outside those walls was ruthless. Days later, everything changed. A charity gala. Cameras flashing, fans screaming, reporters pressing for soundbites. The night was supposed to be simple, controlled, perfect. But nothing about love was ever perfect. Soo Kai entered first, his suit crisp, his expression unreadable. The crowd swarmed him, shouting his name, capturing every flicker of his face. Minutes later, Tan Songyun walked in. The room shifted. She was radiant, her gown flowing like liquid light, her smile delicate but steady. And though they hadn't planned it, though they had sworn to stay apart in public, their eyes found each other across the room. It was instant, unstoppable. Fans felt it. Reporters saw it. The cameras clicked with reckless hunger. Soo Kai's chest rose sharply, his mask slipping, his emotions bleeding through his carefully constructed armor. Tan Songyun tried to look away, but her heart betrayed her, her gaze holding his for a second too long. That second was enough. The entire world saw it. A spark. A confession without words. A love too big to be contained. The night spiraled into chaos. Fans online exploded with theories. Some screamed in joy, others in rage. Headlines the next morning painted them as reckless, foolish, brave, dangerous. But what no one knew was what happened after the gala. Soo Kai had left first, his car pulling away into the darkness. But halfway down the road he stopped. He couldn't leave her behind. He couldn't let the world devour her while he escaped. He turned the car around. When he found her, she was standing alone outside the venue, the cold air wrapping around her fragile frame. She looked up, startled, as he stepped out. For a moment, neither spoke. Then he crossed the distance, his voice raw, desperate. Songyun, if this is the end, if they destroy us after tonight, I need you to know, I would choose this 1,000 times over. I would choose you always. Her tears spilled again, but this time they were mixed with laughter, shaky and wild. Then let it end, she whispered, her voice breaking and mending all at once. But let it end with us together. And in that moment, Under the glare of 1,000 invisible eyes, Su-kai pulled her close. Their kiss was not hidden. It was not stolen. It was a declaration, reckless and beautiful, daring the world to tear them apart. The city roared around them, but they heard nothing. Only the pounding of their hearts, the shattering of chains, the birth of something unstoppable. But even as they kissed, shadows stirred. Behind the flashing lights and roaring crowds, someone had already captured the moment. A single photograph. One that would ignite a firestorm so massive it would change everything. The photo would not just expose them. It would test them in ways neither of them could imagine. The world was about to turn against them, and their love would either break or burn brighter than ever before.